Yeah, so we're looking at the score 5-2, Boston Red Legion up on the Philly Americans. So, when you're looking at Red Legion as far as penalties go, okay, so they only had, and this is a team that they were 18-9 on the year, okay, so they had an awesome record. They came in seeded third, and if you look at the Ironmen, the Ironmen were 19-10, okay, so they played a couple more games, and came in ranked a little bit higher than they did. They were ranked second. But they had 15 minor penalties, 15 major penalties and 33 minor penalties. And you look at the Russians, they only had 5 majors and 20 minors. That's a substantially less penalties.
And that's we keep talking about. Stay out of the penalty box, and you have a better chance of winning because the teams that you're playing here are top notch. You can't afford to be sitting in the box. So the Russians got a rare penalty, and now they put themselves in a situation, this next line, that
yeah, no, for sure. It
gives Philly a big advantage.
So we're at halftime right now. That penalty is going to stay on the board. And it's funny, man. I'm just looking at the stats here. It's like, look at Dynasty. They only got 4 major penalties, but 37 minor penalties.
They lived and
just
died by that minor.
That aggressive area, that little gray area, a little bit. Either that or the refs just start giving a little bit of extra love.
Yeah.
So we're looking in on the pit area right now. About 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to play. Score 5-2. Okay, so you're Philly, Rab. What do you got to do, man? I mean, they're not playing bad.
They're not playing bad. They got to come here in the second half. They just need to attack. The points that they won, they attacked. When they attacked, they blew Russian right off the field. So they're not out of it by no means. 5-2. They're starting the first point with Russians in a penalty. Get it to 5-3. They can maybe get a little momentum swinging their way, and it's a long match still. And it's
they're
exactly
going to be on the power play for 48 seconds.
48 seconds, and the Russians, I'm sure they're going to send out their penalty line and try to grind out that clock as best they can. And if Philly needs to get that point quick, take advantage. That's the advantage of having that penalty. It's 5-on-4.
You know what I have noticed too, though, in this particular setup, is that on those power plays, a lot of the times the team with 5 will lose a body because they're like, okay, we're on our power play, let's spread the field, and they try to go out to that corner, and then they can shoot that guy gets shot.
And even it up real fast.
I would almost go up the center, man. On a power play, I try that. I try one of the moves that Ollie Lang was doing, where you run a stunt up to the center X, and then if you shoot one of the guys off the side,
absolutely,
then you go out, because that's the thing. Like a lot of times during a
when you got a team down like that, you got to go through the middle of the field.
Yeah, man, you got to go to the field.
If you spread it out,
especially on this particular field setup. All the layouts are different. And every time you have to adjust to that particular layout, and that really dictates strategy.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got 2 minutes for the start of the of this.
What line did they send out?
Well, I would probably start with. Well, they're probably going to come out with the American line because they ran the Russian line last. So
they.
Especially, and the Russian line got a penalty. So, but both Russian lines have got penalties, which is weird.
Yeah, and
all right, we got a replay. Let's check it out. Okay, look at that last breakout here, and you're watching Chad George trying to get to Snake 1, checks himself and realizes he took a hit, doesn't want to try to get a penalty. It was 4-2 at that time, and now it's 5-2, and. And it's tough, man. That Snake 1's hard to make.
Snake 1's hard to make, and you're running into guys that are been practicing that shot probably for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, that shot, literally just doing this.
Yeah.
1,500 times.
I saw that shot up close yesterday. Not me personally, but my team, so it was rough. So.
Yeah.
But second half, Philly's got these guys in a penalty. They can make a move here, get it to 5-3, and
that's weird that Kirill Peridny got that penalty because but hey, it's paintball,
it happens, man.
It happens. You're gonna get penalties. It's like basketball. You're gonna get fouls.
You just
It's
want to
no
try
big
to
deal. Like
minimize
that's one of the things. Like people are like, oh, cheating. If maybe a rec player and you're watching, like, oh, the tournament guys cheat.
Hey, there's cheating in football. Every Sunday I watch cheating. Leg whips, holding.
I've been playing big games and scenarios this year for fun, and I'm sponsored by Smart Parts and JT, so been going to all these and checking stuff out. And I'll tell you what, those guys cheat up a storm. It's lawless out there. It's crazy. But that's why there's penalties. That's why there's refs. All right, here we go on the breakout. They ran the American line, so we got Matt Blonsky in there. Looks like they went to the Xbox up that center. And the Russians.
They're trying to neutralize that penalty.
Looking at Matt Blonsky right here. And we see that minor penalty taken off for Boston. They got 30 seconds.
All right, that's a hybrid line. It's American and Russian line.
Is it?
Yeah, because that's Britnikov walking off.
Oh, Britnikov was walking off?
Walking off.
That's another underrated player, man. Britnikov.
Absolutely.
Britnikov's awesome. Little baby Russian. He gets so mad when we say that, too.
Yeah, he does.
But he's like 4'8".
They're getting ready to come out of the
box. Oh, here
box.
comes Ryan Moorhead flying down the field. And Jace following up with Jason Edwards. This could be a big point as Chad George gets into Snake 2. Looking cross field. He's still got a guy down his line. It's Matt Blonsky who was able to get out to that corner. And you see Chad George right now swabbing his barrel. He took a little core sample when he dove in there. And Jason Edwards right beside him at that 50-yard line, right by the flag at the Aztec. And he's trying to get a shot on the center. I think that is hybrid. Isn't that Kirill?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so Kirill's in there. Yeah, Kirill finally came out of the penalty box. So Kirill gets out of the penalty box, immediately guns up on that snake. That's the only good thing about being in the penalty box is you're able to see the field. Yep. You got your eyes up, and you're behind the netting.
And if you're lucky enough to make it out, you know where to go.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of read the game and see, do I need to go this side, that side?
Philly needs to split this field up a little bit. They need to get someone down that Dorito side and put some heat.
Well, they're playing smart. What they really need to do is they need to win this point.
Win this point. They're
they need to win this point, and they're going in. Yeah, and so now we got Tim Montresor. Now he's breaking across to the Dorito side, and that's Tim's job, man. Tim's great at that. He's talking to him about it, his style of play. He said, "I'm like a linebacker, man. Eyes always on a swivel, head on a swivel.
There he
Never
goes.
try to get tunnel vision." And he's making his moves up the Dorito side. You're watching Chad George and Jason Edwards right behind him in the Dorito. And Jason actually made back to that bunker. Now he's going to try to spread the field. Gets across the Xbox. Oh, and Matt Blonsky finally getting shot by Chad George down the tape. And now Chad George is going to just try to wrap around, and somebody's going to run him down.
Oh, yeah. Here comes
nice
that massage.
Smart point by Philly. They're down by 3. Now we have a 2-point match with 12 minutes left.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. They're playing good, man.
Yeah,
they are playing good.
This is a good match.
Talk us through that point, Rod. They seem to take quite a while for Philly to push up the field and take out those last couple of Russian players.
So got a question coming in from Internet Land, from PB Nation. Why do we think Fedorov switched to Philly? Well, I think that's a pretty easy answer.
Yeah, I would say so.
Fedorov switched to Philly because Fedorov, he spent, I think it was 4 years. I think he spent 4 years coming up in that program and went from nothing, just a random Russian kid, to one of the best players in the world. And he got an offer that he couldn't refuse. He's like, oh, we're going to pay you a bunch of money to come and play paintball in America. Are you down for that? Yeah. So I think it was a pretty easy decision for him.
And
I wouldn't say it's easy, but he had to leave his home, and it's crazy too because he can only stay in the States for I think it's like a month or something at a time, or a month and a half.
30 days.
30 is it 30 days? Yeah, and then he has to go back. So it takes a toll, man. Flying to Moscow takes 18 hours or something like that.
It's
a
pretty
long
rough trip.
flight. It's pretty much on the complete opposite side of the world.
And I think he wanted to play in the Millennium because the Russians don't play in the Millennium. I think he wanted to do a little play around the world a little bit more, and you get to do that with Philly.
Yeah. Got a question coming in. Could we see a repeat of last year's finals?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't think it, but can we see a repeat? Absolutely. I mean, obviously Philly can say no to that, and so could Impact.
Yeah, and they had a great game or a great point this last time. If they continue to play that, they're definitely going to stand a chance. What single component of the game is going to win the cup? If you had to pick one element of an arsenal in a team, whether it's their star player, you know what? It's almost impossible.
Stay out of the penalty box.
You think that
Absolutely.
that might be a good
That's
one?
it.
Play as clean as
Stay out
possible.
of the penalty box.
Because penalties, man, they will kill you. You know, this game could be you know, like the Russians have 2 penalties. This game could be less close than this if they hadn't got those penalties. You see Fedorov in snake 1 for Philadelphia again, and this is the first time that Fedorov has played his old team. This is the first time that Philly is and the Russians have met this year.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's I'm sure they're all still friends to a point, but I'm sure that he wants to beat them, and they want to run it down on him. But this is a good move here. He's coming down the snake here. He does this well. He could play this. He goes impatient.
This is
do
how
some damage
Fedorov
here.
made his name. Fedorov made his name playing the snake
Yep.
and playing aggressive.
Here he goes.
He's gonna go.
Oh, they shot him
Oh
out.
man, he
That's
came
big
right
kill.
up to the lane. You got to be careful. That's the thing. Like what we talk about this. You made your
Take your
spot.
time.
You got all the way there. You're winning the game, or not winning the game, but there's tons of time left on there. You're only down 2. Why would you get in a money spot and immediately peek up into the most obvious place where you might pop up? You know, why not pop up a little bit back farther or something like that?
That Aztec is pretty big. Use it.
Use the Aztec, man. There's no one on your tape.
Uh-oh.
So all the way advancing onto the Russian side of the field. Oh, he gets shot in the pack,
bad
trying to
move.
get crossed. You see Todd Hugo rolling his gun on that Dorito side of the field, trying to support his boy who's all the way
Baryshnikov
across.
is still left over there. I thought he got shot out.
So no, I think he's still over there. So crazy point over on the Dorito side.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so Britnikoff able to get across to Philly side of the field, and now he's going to get run down by Todd Hugo, who stays alive. Oh, my God, amazing move by Todd Hugo. And Tim Montressor streaking down the snake side.
Oh.
Destroys, I think that was Dimma. Yeah, destroys Dimma, and nice job by Philly to make this a 1-point match. Amazing point by Todd Hugo and Tim Montressor. Just like Tim said, man, I'm a linebacker, dude. That's what I do. I can play the snake. I play the Dorito side. You know, and look at that. On that other point, he goes all the way on the Dorito side, able to make that happen and spread the field. This time now he's running down the snake side.
Absolutely.
And Todd Hugo, I don't know if anyone knows, but Todd Hugo is 98 years old. Okay, he's really
He's older than me, I think.
Really, no, seriously, I think he's like 40 or 38.
I think he's 39.
Is he 39?
Yeah, I think he's 39.
Yeah. Well, anyway, regardless, the point is that he's still amazing, and he's been on the circuit for as long as he has. It's incredibly impressive, and you got to tip your hat to a veteran like that. I mean, he just ran down Britnikoff, who's stepping up to become one of the preeminent players on the Russians.
Yep.
All right, so we got Tim Montressor talking about his new teammate Konstantin Fedorov. Let's check it out.
Fedorov had a tough get-go to the beginning of the year. He had come to a team that doesn't speak any bit of Russian, so communication was tough. Discussing game plans at the end of a tournament, before a tournament, and during the tournament was tough. Gaining his insight from what he felt and then portraying what we felt happened in the game was difficult. But he's come over to the United States. He stays for a month at a time. So Fedorov's English has gotten much better. His camaraderie with the team significantly improved. And I think if you watch his performance on the field and his confidence with the team, it's grown tenfold throughout the year.
You know, Fedorov did have a tough time coming across, and he didn't speak. His English has actually improved a lot. But it's a completely different program. You know, they were playing different formats.
It went from complete discipline, hard work, and that they don't. It's just a little more lax there, and that's probably what he's looking for.
They work really hard, but it's less structured.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when they go out and train, it's not like, okay, we're in the pits right now checking out the Russians. You know, you see they got coaches surrounding them, telling them what's up. But the thing is like, you know, the Russians are like, okay, from 3 o'clock you will do snap shooting drills. Then at 5 we do one-on-ones, you know, and that sort of stuff. When the Philly goes out to train, it's like, all right, let's do drills. All right, 3-on-2s, let's do those. Let's do these. Let's play some games. You know, I mean, they're playing a lot of paintball and they're getting the reps they need to get, but it's not as quite like exactly. It's not as structured as the Russians. So when Fedorov came in, it's kind of a little bit of a transition. Plus, man, honestly, like they're not going to hold Fedorov's hand.
No,
you know, it's way different on the Russians. You know, they catered to Fedorov because you know he was their guy. And on the Philly, it was more like, hey, bro, we're paying you a lot of money, and you better step up. Go kill people.
That's what you're here
go
for.
Play. That's what you're here for. That's why you're making your money.
We didn't
go out
bring you
there
here
and
to
kill
look
people.
good.
And so you know, you're not here.
And he's not going to look too good with that mullet.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the Moscow mullet?
That's their thing, man. You know, different style over there.
I mean,
capri pants, mullet. They
I have the
love
reverse
it over there.
mullet.
You got the reverse.
I got the reverse mullet.
You got the 5 head.
I got the 5 head.
All right, so
This
we're
is
looking
a
at the break
big
right here.
point right here,
7:14 left on the clock. We've got a 1-point match on our hands. Boston still up. Is that Callie Rudolph?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Callie Rudolph getting a spin. He's in there. And the insert Aztec on the snake. And now we see Tim Montresor rolling his gun. He's in the mirror of Callie Rudolph. So they're both in the same bunker, opposite sides of the field. We call that the mirror. You see Tim talking to his guys. And on the wide shot here, boom, and then you see Matt Blonsky getting shot out of that Xbox. Blonsky struggling today.
Take out the Xbox, both trade out. I thought he was
And
staying
you see
alive.
That's Chad George in the stand-up right there, and Tim Montresor, who's got his gun down. Maybe he's breaking some paint or something, and Callie Rudolph finally able to get out to the back stand-up on the snake side of the field as you see Blonsky walk off in the background. Just at the top right-hand corner of the screen, you see that back center bunker, and Heyman Chapman in there. Heyman Chapman makes a move all the way to the insert, and you see Callie Rudolph able to get in there to snake one. Now he's going to try to chop down that Dorito side where Philadelphia is making their moves. And now he's going to go to the next set, goes to snake two.
Let's see if he can be patient here, unlike some of the other guys have been going in there.
Yeah, now we just saw Fedorov get in there that last point and come around to the next notch where Callie's trying to get to.
He'll play
him right now. He's poking. He's looking at Chad George's gun. He's playing. They're head checking. So Callie's looking. He's going to come out now. He's trying to get out on Chad George. He's out established on him. There's Chad George right there in his bunker. He's peeked out a little bit. The referee getting in there and trying to check him out, and slipping and falling, getting around on the other side. And you see Montresor trying to make a move over. Scurrying over to the Dorito side of the field. He's got to be careful though, because you see Callie Rudolph. Man, Callie's playing good, man. Smart paintball.
Patient,
He's backing off there, patient. He's getting all the variables. He's trying to figure that equation out. Yeah, you see that? You see he's just shooting an inch off that bunker. You don't want to shoot the bunker. You want to shoot an inch off it. You see that splat just hit, and then boom. Realizes George isn't out on him. Moves right up into the next spot. This is impressive. This is how the snake is supposed to be played. Now, let's see if he can. Now, that's the thing. He's done all that work to get to that spot. Now he's got to start producing out of there. This is close right here. We got under 5 minutes left. Again, this is a best 2 out of 3. This is the first match of the best 2 out of 3, so you definitely want to win that first game no matter how close it is. You need to steal that momentum just to put the guys back on their heels. And Callie Rudolph now shooting cross field.
Heyman Chapman backing
Chad
up.
George, it's just a really it's a smart paintball battle going on right here. And you see Chad George trying to get a shot on Callie in that at the 50-yard line snake. Really slow point, man. 4 minutes and 23 seconds left. And you know, Rab, think about it. As the time starts to go by, you guys creeps in your head. Wow. I don't think Callie could see the scoreboard, though he's got coaches on the side yelling at him. So as the time starts to tick by, you have to think this might be the point right here where we win. And Boston is up right now. So all Callie has to do is just chill, let 4 minutes go down, and they win. So that's probably not going to happen. Probably somebody's going to win a point.
They traded over there on the other side of the field.
You see Chapman into snake one right there, backing up Callie Rudolph. So Callie looking cross field or trying to get shots because here comes Tim Montresor all the way to the other side of the field. Looks like Heyman Chapman might have got a shot on him. Nope, made it in clean. He's peeking around. Oh, and it looks like Callie Rudolph got a shot on cross field. I think Tim might have dodged it though. Wow, Tim dodged that ball. That was wow, that was impressive. Straight ninja reflexes on our brother over there. Tense point right here because Philly has to win this. Let's see what Chad
got
George
to take
is.
care of Kevin here. He's got to make sure this guy doesn't run.
Chad George makes a hell of a shot on Callie Rudolph. So it's 2-on-1 right now. So they got to be careful because Heyman Chapman is really good, man. He can pull this off. And you see. And he's got no paint. Heyman Chapman had run out of paintballs. So Heyman Chapman, you see the fist pump from Tim Montresor. Wow, Tim stepping it up, being a leader on that team. Awesome job, man. Chad George, I think he's 18 years old. 18-year-old Chad George tying it up with just under 3 minutes left to play. Hell of a first match here between Boston and Philadelphia.
5-5. They're down, brought that 3 points evened it up.
Yeah,
And
man.
the momentum is on their side now.
Wow. And
Russians are feeling all the
that's
pressure right now.
The thing is, too, is that the Russians, or at least this year, when this happens to them, this is when they start to fall apart.
They crumble.
When they win a couple points in a row, I mean, sometimes they'll go on to win 4 points in a row. They're one of those guys that gets the momentum. You know, they get that momentum rolling through, and it really helps them out.
They're feeling it right now. We'll see if they crack right now, because it's all on them right now. Philly's got all the momentum. They're pushing them.
Yeah, Philly's definitely got the momentum, especially when you come off a close point like that. You know, I mean, you see Chapman, he was hanging his head after that point.
Yeah.
You know, and he got and it was 2-on-1, and he was out of paint. I mean, what can you do about that other than carry one more pod out on the field? That's another thing. I don't understand why guys we're gonna look at a replay right here. Now look at this cross field. You have Callie Rudolph in there. You know, he's trying to get shots on Tim Montresor. And then Chad George just senses what's going on, comes up,
know why that happened?
and mows him down.
Because Heyman had no paint. And
Yeah,
he couldn't stop Chad George.
Stop Chad George. So then Chad George, you see Tim at the top of the field streaking up that drill side. And here comes Chad George. And you see Heyman Chapman, no paint, nothing he could do. Yeah, fist pump by Chad George. Jumps over that snake, grabs the flag, and runs it in to tie it up. Hell of a job by those two guys keeping their team in this game. Because if they lose that point, they go down 2 with 3 minutes left, man. That's a tough mental battle to come back.
Now it's 0-0 right now. It's a fresh game again. Here we go.
On the breakout right here, they're spinning Chad George again to get him in another rep. They should, man. He played such a good job. And Russians getting chewed up over here. On the snake side, there's nobody on the snake side for the Russians, though they do have good field position in the center, and they got Mishka, it looks like, up over on the Dorito 1 or Dorito 2. Then they finally swing, somebody over here on the to the insert Aztec on the snake side. But here comes Chad George into snake 1 for Philly, backed up by Fedorov. So Fedorov right now, I'd want to have a point, man. It's like, wow, okay, I'm supposed to be the superstar, but we got the 18-year-old kid out there just handling business. You know, let me in there, man. I want to shoot somebody. So Fedorov and Chad George are trying to get a shot on Britnikoff and Dima. So Britnikoff and Dima are on the snake side for the Russians.
Oh, lost another one.
So Russians drop another off the Dorito side of the field, and here comes Chad George aggressively pushing up that side. Referee getting right in there on him. And, oh, look at that. Chad George, crossfield, getting his shots. They lose Dima over here on the snake side, and now George continuing to stun over here on this side for Philadelphia with 1 minute and 19 seconds left. Streaking down the field is Konstantin Fedorov, putting the exclamation point on Mishka's back, man. Or no, I think that might have been Britnikoff, and then Fedorov saying, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry. Sorry, I shot you into unconsciousness." So, it's got to be a point of pride for Fedorov too. It's like, yeah, I made this move, and it's hard, and I'm doing what I can, and making my living, and he, it was a good job, man. He sprinted to the other side of the field, came down, realized that Chad George was doing a good job over here because Fedorov was on this side of the field. I mean, we looked at Chad George scurry down this side of the field, and then I look up, and he's all the way on the other side of the field and running that last guy down. So that was a really good job by Fedorov. Now Philly, again, momentum. Swing it back their way. They're up a point now.
They're on a 4-point swing right now.
4-point swing, and they're up with a minute and like 19 seconds left to play.
Yeah, plenty of time, but I would expect, obviously the Russians are going to try to come out hard, but I would think Philly's going to meet them right there in the middle.
All right, we're checking out the replay here. Now, you see Fedorov running down one of his friends on the Russians and put about 5 or 6 on the back of his head, and he's a little punch drunk getting up. So nice job by Konstantin Fedorov and Chad George. And then Fedorov had to come over and be like, "Hey, bro, my bad, dog. My bad. I'm sorry. I just pounded your skull with paintballs." Yeah, no, that is good sportsmanship. And honestly, Fedorov.
Hey, man, when you're on the field, when you're inside the white lines, there's no friends.
Nikki Cuba puts it best. It's like other sports that when you're out on the field and football, or you could say you're out on the field here, but Nicky put it best. He's like, when you're in that net, you're a different person.
Yeah.
When you're surrounded by that netting and you got the bunkers out there and we got our guns, man. That's battle, and that's why I play this game. And I'm gonna be as hardcore as I can, man. I'm not gonna let you have an inch because I don't expect you to give me an inch.
Exactly.
Boston calls a timeout, as they should. Got to figure out what's going on, and as Philly's just been running away with it here in the second half. It's funny too because that's what Philly did to X Factor. X Factor, same sort of thing happened here, except Philly or Boston put up a bigger lead. But X Factor and Philly, in their first game, they played back and forth, and then Philly just took off in the second half, and the score was 9-5.
And that's what they've done this game.
So Rav, what do you think side's more important on this layout? D side, snake, or center? Well, D side or the snake?
This field is crucial on both, actually. So you gotta like the Ironman did the first match. They had presence on both, and then in this match, both squads are making a good presence on the Dorito side and the snake side. So they're both crucial. Now I don't pick one over the other, but
yeah.
For the whole week so far, the Dorito side has definitely been the bloodbath game after game.
It's interesting though because you see the bloodbath happen on the Dorito side, which is interesting because normally it's the snake side that's the bloodbath. But that being said, you're seeing a lot of smart players having really big games up the center and on the snake side too.
Yep.
It's like car crash on the Doritos, smart stuff's going on in the center, awesome run-throughs. Like that's what a good center layout does. And good players can read that and make it through like that. And it's funny, you're watching the guys run through. Like, honestly, had a good day yesterday, even though they got eliminated, was Todd Morrow.
Yeah.
Todd Morrow was on fire.
I saw him yesterday and told him he played very well.
Looking at Bart Blonsky right here. Getting it up. Heyman Chapman, his brother Matt Blonsky. That's got to be really cool to get to play with your brother.
Play with your brother. All right, this point is going to be a bloodbath, I'm sure.
All right, so only a minute and 10 seconds left to play in this match. And Russians are going to have to get something going. They sent out the American line. And they got Fedorov, Konstantin Fedorov in the
There goes one Russian down. Heyman Chapman's off.
Heyman Chapman walking
and there goes
off.
one Philly.
And now Konstantin Fedorov rolling his gun.
Side.
Again, 46 seconds left. All they have to do, and you can notice they're just gunned up right now. Loading and shooting, gunned up. Just keep rolling that gun. Dude, you can shoot your gun continuously for a minute and 12 seconds, no problem. And you constantly just want to be filling the air with paintballs. Coming up the Dorito side now, Justin Rabikoff and Dave Baines up in that center. So it's three players. It's across backfield. You got Konstantin Fedorov, Chad George, and Jason Edwards trying to stop this onslaught with just 18 seconds left to play. You're going to see people start getting loose. Dave Baines is going to launch here probably sooner. He needs to launch. 12 seconds. They got to get going.
Oh.
I can't believe they're not trying to do something right here. Justin gets shot trying to while out in his bunker. Dave Baines streaks. I don't know why he's going to the Doritos. Only 2 seconds left. So this game is going to end with a victory for Philadelphia. Yeah,
awesome
Fedorov.
game.
You see Fedorov excited. In the first match that Fedorov played against his former team that he's won a world title with. And, he's super excited, and as he should be. They just came back. They scored 4 unanswered points to take that 1-point lead, and then they held off the Russians. I don't know what they were doing, man. I mean, at least Justin was wilding out in his bunker. We got shot out of his bunker. That's fine. Whatever.
They need to be down the snake a lot faster.
I don't know why they weren't launching. Dave Baines is in the center. You know why they weren't launching, honestly, is because Philly, even though they only ended up having 3 bodies, they lost 2 guys in the craziness over on the Dorito side. But they had 3 guys locked up on that back bunker, on those back 3 bunkers. And, they had Jason Edwards, Chad George, and Fedorov. You notice when you guys were watching on the footage, those dudes were just literally loading and shooting nonstop, loading and shooting. And it's really hard to be running down the field if you know for sure I'm immediately going to walk out into a lane.
Yeah,
because I think you could see by their body language they wanted to go there head checking, but every time they head checked, they're looking right out into a paintball.
Yep. And they completely handed that game. And don't take anything from Philly. They played amazing. The second half was all Philly. And Russians gotta figure out what they did wrong there. Going to the next match, Philly's got all the momentum going right now, and the confidence that they have, it's going to be enormous for Russians to come back on that one.
All right, so as you see Philly, all smiles, coming out onto the field. And they're going to shake the hands of the Russians. So good job by Philadelphia, man, to come back. You know, and you know, got some questions. Do we going to have a repeat of last year's finals, the Russians and Ironman? Honestly, I don't know, man. I really don't know. And if you had asked me 3 points in, I would have said, yeah, that could possibly happen because the Russians are playing great now. Right, Philadelphia now refusing to go quietly. Yeah. That's really impressive. This is the World Cup. I truly appreciate that the mental tenacity it really takes to kind of, you know, wow, we're down 3-4 points.
You're down 5-3, 5-2 against the Russians. That's what they just did is amazing comeback. And
yeah, amazing comeback. So congratulations on their first win. So far the Ironmen taking down Impact in their first match. Now we have look at that, you know, Fedorov and going shaking some hands with his boys. I mean, he spent years with those guys, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's still friends with all of them. They're still real close. He still lives in there. I mean, you can only stay in America for like a month or so. And you see the Russians in their huddle trying to figure out what went wrong, what they could have done better, and they need to tighten it up. They need to play. They need to keep playing aggressive.
What affected them? I mean, yeah, they got outplayed the second half, but those penalties, man. Philly didn't go in the penalty box.
Yep. And they got 2 penalties.
And they got 2 points on those penalties, man. Stay out of the box, teams, and you have a better chance of winning.
And you got to win. You know, got to win those. And another thing too, you get up 3 points on a team. Just don't change it up. Don't change it up. Stay out of the box. Don't change it up. You get someone on the ropes, put them away. You know, don't let them take another breath and get their composure back. No, you got to keep putting it on them, and that's
which is
not
surprising
what they did.
Usually,
that's what the Russians are good at.
Yeah,
that's how you beat the Russians. When you talk to other guys in the league, that's how you beat the Russians.
And they did it. They cracked. That egg completely cracked.